Good morning and welcome to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Kara DeFalco.
And I'm Kristina Behr. Today is Friday, September 16th, and here's what we got in store for you today.
Yeah, so New Jersey released guidelines this week on marijuana in the workplace. So what are they?
Yeah, and the state's single-use bag ban has had some unintended consequences. We'll tell you about those.
But first, meteorologist Mike Favetta is on vacation this week. So Kristina and I were trying our level best to make this work out for you. Here's what you're getting for your forecast today. Things are going to be warming up once again.
Yeah.
We've got that nice, cool overnight weather, highs around the mid-70s. And so it's going to be pretty nice as we head into the weekend this week.
No major issues. That's a good news for people who are still trying to get the most out of the shore. That's for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, Don Smith joins us now with a look at the ride. Good morning to you, Don.
Good morning to you, Kristina, and good morning, Kara. Nice to see both of you there in Fairfield this morning. We go to an issue here, though, in North Brunswick, and this just happened here before we came to air here. It's 9:02 this morning, north along Route 1, just north of 130. Dealing with an overturned vehicle. So hopefully everyone is okay here this morning. Again, this is northbound Route 1, pretty much a standstill. So just the left lane gets by here just north of 130. That's where the camera is located. If you're familiar with this area up by the old Carolier bowling alley back in the day, we go to the maps and it's not a horrible delay, but it's also now starting to affect traffic on 130 exiting here for Route 1. So give yourself about another 10 minutes worth of travel time, if you're going to head out here within about the next 10, 15 minutes or so. So again, just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Let's go towards the incident list because there's a couple other things cooking here this morning. We've got an issue on the Parkway south at Hoover Avenue and 150. 206 has got an issue here at Brooks Boulevard in Hillsborough. We have all lanes shut there, and that's with a gas main still being worked on. And then this has really been the other top story here in New Jersey is this 206 building fire. It's been out there for hours now, closing up 206 both ways out between Cold Soil Road and Carter Road in Lawrence Township. And again, give yourself at least probably another 15, 20, maybe longer than that. This is just south of the Bristol Myers Squibb campus. So if you're going to work at Bristol Myers this morning, stay with Princeton Pike instead. Also, Lawrenceville School is in this same area. So if you're dropping off the kids maybe a little later this morning, you're going to be detoured. And it's also affecting on 295, the ramps both ways here at 69. The ramps are shut down, and that's because they're not allowing you to kind of get onto 206 because of this fire department activity. Also, still cleaning up a water main break along 28 out by the Tim Hortons there as it came around the Somerville traffic circle. So that is still shut now until further notice. But, for a Friday, again, it's just gorgeous weather out here this morning. You may even have a little dew kind of on your windshield, and maybe heated wheel and the heated seat are in order because it's fairly crisp out here. In some places into the 50s. So just keep that in mind. It's definitely fairly lighter for a Friday, as we saw last Friday as well. Just a little bit of a delay here north on the Parkway, obviously into Hoover with some issues there at one crash. And then south along 208, looks like they're setting up this midday road work again out through the Wyckoff area and then again through Glen Rock and Hawthorne. But other than that, friends, Route 4, 17, 80 out in Parsippany, Route 15, we're in good shape, 24, 78. Again, some issues there in Hillsborough because of that gas main repair. But the Parkway, 34, 36, 195. Everything is really in great shape heading down the shore. It's been a chilly start if you're heading out towards the beaches here this morning to work on some of your fun activities there out on the beach. And then 55, a little crowded here at 42. And everything all the way down to Cape May is good. New Jersey Transit, just some minor delays here on the Morrison-Essex as well as the corridor, about 20 minutes there getting into Trenton. Hudson River crossings, let's just go a quick refresh here to give you the freshest numbers. We're still pushing about an hour for the upper, 40 for the lower at the George, about 20 at the Lincoln, 20 at the Holland. So again, a little bit lighter than normal there at the Lincoln and Holland. That's happening here in the traffic center. Kara, Kristina, send it back to you.
All right. Thanks so much, Don.
So New Jersey's credit rating just got an upgrade as Fitch Ratings moved the state from an A- to an A.
Well, the upgrade marks the third upgrade for New Jersey since the 2022 fiscal year budget was implemented last year.
It's the first upgrade that Fitch has given New Jersey in 30 years when it began assigning ratings. In a statement, Governor Murphy credited the state's budget surplus and the ability to make full pension payments as the key to the state's upgrade.
And New Jersey's ratings remain strong across the board as the state is on a positive outlook among 3 rating agencies. That's some good news there.
It is good news. It's it's always good when they deem us worthy of credit.
An upgrade instead of a downgrade.
Yes, exactly.
Well, after several delays, state regulators have come out with new guidelines for managing legal marijuana in the workplace. It says workers can't be punished solely for testing positive on a drug test.
So employers have to have some sort of proof of impairment to take any action. Now, that proof would be provided by a worker who's trained to assess if a colleague is impaired.
Now, the guidance doesn't specify how those workers would be trained, and specific rules on that front are not included in the new guidelines.
So the rules come 5 months after cannabis was legalized in April, and this has been something that business owners have been looking for.
Right.
And while these are guidelines, this is still not the law, the rule that they're going to work with, but they just haven't come up with how they want to structure this.
And because everything is just so new, everybody's sort of navigating this at the same time. So it's sort of like, it's very interesting to see how this is all playing out, because it's still playing out and it will continue like that for at least the next few years.
Yeah, and it's definitely, throw in the hybrid work from home situations that we still are having and working with, and it's like, how do you regulate? How do you tell?
How do you regulate that? So it'll be interesting.
It's definitely going to be interesting. All right, I'm so excited for our first guest today. Dupree Kelly first rose to prominence in the hip-hop scene as a member of the group Lords of the Underground.
And today, he's the first platinum-selling rapper to be elected to public office, serving as a councilman in Newark's West Ward, the same neighborhood where he grew up. And he joins us now. Good morning to you, Councilman. Thanks for being with us.
Great day to you both. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for being here. I guess the first and foremost question is, you've been in the office now. How has it been transitioning from the world of entertainment to the world of politics? How has that gone for you?
Man, it has been an experience. It has been a ride, but it's what I signed up for. It is what our community needed. They needed someone who is of them, like them, from the same place that they are. When you're close to the pain, you're able to actually address the pain because you come from that same pain. So it's been good. It's what I signed up for. Now, don't get me wrong. You still have to deal with a lot of different personalities, a lot of different attitudes. And if you don't have any complainers, then you must not be doing something right. So it's been good.
So what made you want to run for office, and why was it important to you to do it in Newark?
Well, there's so many different moving parts to that answer. And, it's just so many different things. I started very early when I was just a teenager from a mentor who showed me how important community was, a mentor by the name of Hafiz Fareed. And then it went from there, had me looking for mentors. If I wanted to be something, I had to find that. My father wasn't around, my biological father, so I had to look for male mentorship. Mm-hmm. And I found that in a male 8th grade teacher. I found that in a guy who was from the neighborhood, but was actually a legislative aide to a councilman at that time. And then that same councilman became one of my mentors. And then so on and so forth. People around the neighborhood became mentors. And I just believe that if you're a male child, a woman who you need in your life, but a woman cannot teach a young male child how to become a man, and vice versa. A man can't teach a little girl how to become a woman. So I was looking for male mentorship. And by me finding that male mentorship, they taught me and addressed how to live in the community, how to just be one with the community. And by doing all of that, it made me say, as I serve my community, the people started to say, we want you to be our voice.
Mm-hmm. And no doubt you've been a mentor to probably some other kids in the neighborhood as well, from switching careers from being a music star to now holding public office. What's been the response to you from the community to your new role in public office?
You know, the response has been overwhelmingly great. Overwhelmingly great. But I will say too, you know, just like you have your yay sayers, you also have your naysayers. You know, I tell people, even in hip hop, we sold millions of records, but there were also millions of people who did not buy it.
Right.
You know, so that didn't stop us from having the status of a platinum selling artist, but there were millions of people who didn't buy it. And it's the same thing with politics. There are so many people who support, so many people who respect the difference that you bring to the community. But then there's people who didn't vote for you, the people who are on the other side. Whatever that side is, they're on the other side. So I don't think anybody out there should ever let that persuade them to do otherwise. You know, always chase your dreams, always stand on your square, stand in what you believe in, and just do the right thing, the thing that you believe is right. And, you know, there are more people who voted for me that believe I am doing the right thing and going down the right path than not.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Councilman, what issues are your priority now that you are in office?
Well, you know, when I first came by me coming into office now on June 14th, I'm already walking into a current situation of things that need improvement. I'm already walking into things that that pertains to our budget, and so I'm already walking into things that I have to address and fix. You know, one of my things is that our community, we have to restore trust. We have to restore trust in our community, and I am looking to do that. My main thing is revitalizing our community, revitalizing our corridors, but not just brick and mortar, revitalizing the mindset of the people, the mindset of our seniors, our elders, and letting them know that we need them. We need their wisdom. We need them to help us learn from the lessons and mistakes and the wins that they made. We need our youth to see people becoming greatness, because when you see it, you believe you can be it. We need things for our youth to keep them active, and keep them active with things that they are interested in, not things that the politicians or the people in the community just think is best for them. Like, we can't just build basketball courts or baseball fields anymore because we think that's what they want. We have to build things and create things and programming that they are interested in, and then creating more jobs and making our city attractive, making it attractive to investors inside our community and outside our community. The more attractive it becomes, the more the economic development grows.
You'd mentioned learning just now, and I'm sure you get this question a lot, but what did you learn in the hip hop community and in the music world that you've been able to sort of transfer to your new position?
I think that what I've learned is that how to galvanize people, how to bring them to one area, one thing, bring them to the table. And when you bring them to the table, utilize what they want, utilize what they see, utilize what they hear, and then put it in, you know, in the music world, we would take all of that information and we would put our experiences into creativity, and make these records. I look at that as almost being the same thing. Let's galvanize the people. Let's bring them to the table. And once we bring them to the table, then we put smart people around the table to help address their issues and help address their problems. So that's what I look at it as, being able to bring the people together and understand what it is that they want, and then create that.
Yeah, coming together for a common cause, for sure, and lifting each other up. I mean, that's really
right.
part of the whole situation too, is getting together and having an idea and seeing it through.
And right. I've always loved and admired the spirit of the people of Newark. I think you see so many superstars from the city come back to help the city, to build the city. I mean, this is
that belief that it can happen, it will happen.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That belief is very, very important, and you're so right.
Councilman Kelly, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us. We look forward to talking to you again, too, in the future.
Thank you. Thank you. Take care, guys. Have an incredible day. Thank you for having me. In New Jersey, wake up. Good morning.
Thank you so much, Councilman. All right, guys. Well, like he said, let's get up, let's get going. Coming up, the state's single-use bag ban has had some unintended consequences. We'll tell you how the state hopes to solve those coming up.
And you can chat with us anytime during the conversation online on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search for @NJ Morning Show and click follow. We'd love to hear from you.
2020 felt like a dark tunnel, and while 2020 is over, the impact is not. The pandemic affected both our physical and mental health.
We started the Cody Fund for Mental Health to change lives, so we want you to know about NJ211.
It's a referral service for anyone in crisis, even children.
I am living proof that there's light at the end of the tunnel.
And it's not a train, it's help. It's NJ211.
Right now, New Jersey's youth are dealing with a lot. Growing up today, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. But you're not alone. If you're worried about someone, reach out and point them to help if they need it. The New Jersey Department of Children and Families offers support to children and youth in crisis. Help is available by phone or text whenever you need it. Be there for a friend, and know where to turn for help. Suicide should never be the answer. Growing up can be hard. Getting help shouldn't be.
Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show.
So meteorologist Mike Favetta is off today, and I'm sure at this point he's probably running back to the studio because we might be butchering his job, but we're doing our very best.
His job is very safe.
His job is very, very safe. But we do have those weather headlines for you, so let's take a look. Things are going to be getting warmer for the next week, and then that rain chance not looking too good. So it rained a lot the last week. Now it's going to dry up again, and then things are warmer than average for the start of fall, which I'm okay with because I got one more beach weekend in me. And
so
then,
there you go.
Yeah.
And then
so
the apple picking will kick in.
And then the apple picking will kick off, because autumn starts next week officially, Thursday.
Officially, yes.
September 22nd at 9:04 p.m. is the autumnal equinox.
So all the haters out there that have been ragging on me for having my pumpkin spice lattes need to chill because it'll be official.
You are prepped and ready. We've got 6 days left.
We're good. We're good. All right. Yeah. Well, Don Smith is here with a look at the bridges and tunnels. Hey there, Don.
Hey there, Kristina. Hey there, Kara. Good morning to you. Maybe we do something next Thursday because it looks like fall comes in at 9:04. I mean, just a little something special live on the show, right, for next week's broadcast. Unfortunately, we're dealing with this big situation here this morning. Let me see if I can expand on this. And again, this has been out here for about the last 40 minutes or so, northbound along Route 1, just north of 130. We're dealing with an overturned vehicle here this morning, and you're looking at least 2 lanes shut. At this point, I think everything is completely shut. So we're going to put it in that subject to closure column here this morning, as they may sporadically open and close up the left lane here. So this is just north of 130 along northbound Route 1. There's a lot going on here. So hopefully everyone is okay in this crash. But again, it's been out here for well over a half an hour to 40 minutes, and there's been a lot of emergency activity, and I'm not quite sure what the vehicle is on this side of this wrecker here. So again, hopefully everyone is okay. Just to give you a quick locator of where we are, here's the map. This used to be the old Carolier Bowling Center, but now it's the Bolero, but this is in North Brunswick. So it's also now affecting traffic on Route 130, getting off on Route 1, heading north on that northbound side. So now we're starting to see it stack up here this morning. Getting all the way back almost to Livingston Avenue and exit Route 26, I should say. So that's probably going to, if you're watching us in South Brunswick, give yourself at least another 15 or 20 minutes here this morning, if you can, as you approach on in towards 130. Let's go to the incident list here. I just have to do that there. We've also had this ongoing clearing of this truck fire south on the turnpike. The fire is long out, but they're still doing the cleanup this morning. As you get through Carteret out of Linden on the truck side of things, but they're saying now everything is open. There's also a crash heading south of 150 and Hoover Avenue in Nutley. 206, that's a gas main that's still shut both ways at Brooks Boulevard in Hillsborough. Also 206 in between Cold Soil Road and Carter Road. This is just south of the Bristol Myers Squibb campus. That is still shut with this ongoing building fire cleanup investigation. It's also affecting the ramps on 295, the ramps to northbound 206. They are shut, and that is all because of whatever is going on to that building fire there along 206. And then eastbound on 28, coming out of the Somerville traffic circle in Somerville, Bridgewater, everything is shut there by the Tim Hortons donut shop. So look for that. Other than that, it's been fairly light as far as our volume for a Friday. Everything down the shore here looks good on the Parkway, Atlantic City Expressway. Even as you travel in towards north of Jersey, there's your Parkway delay, a bit of a spot of a backup there. And then south along 208, we have this construction coming into Maple Avenue. That's there until 2:30, and then more repairs, it looks like, as we head south of, this is going to be just south of Ewing Avenue, out in front of Ramapo High School. So hopefully they get this out of the way for the fine teachers at Ramapo High School. Let's give you the latest numbers here. About an hour still at the George, about 20 at the Lincoln, 20 at the Holland, and transit is on or close. That's what's happening in the traffic center. Kara, Kristina, send it back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Don.
So shoppers in New Jersey have grown accustomed to reusable bags being used at the stores around the state after plastic and paper bags were banned back in May.
Yeah, well, now that reusable bags may be causing a new problem, customers who use delivery shopping are now acclimating more bags, or accumulating rather, more bags that they know what to do with.
Yeah, so State Senator, I feel like that's when it's like, oops.
Yeah.
State Senator Bob Smith, who co-sponsored the plastic bag ban, told NJ Advanced Media that he's considering an amendment that would permit paper bags or cardboard boxes for grocery delivery services. I don't do the delivery service for the groceries, but the quantity of reusable bags that I am now in possession of is insane.
Yeah,
insane.
Well, here's the other thing too, and food banks are actively asking people,
for those bags.
If you have an excess or surplus of these reusable bags, we'll gladly take them on.
Yes, because they're giving them out as well.
I mean, that's the only positive side to it, is like, okay, you can find your local food bank and donate it to them
and just drop off the bags.
The problem is, again, it takes us so long to get used to a new system that every time you go food shopping and you leave those bags in the car or at home, you're buying, or for 99 cents, you're buying a new, bag.
And I know we ran into it. There was another problem actually as well. My local grocery store ran out of the hand baskets because people were stealing them. Which, by the way, we do.
Don't do it. Don't do that.
Yeah. And I was thinking to myself, you know how you have the take a penny, leave a penny thing?
Yeah.
I'm like, why just make it a take a bag? I understand the store doesn't benefit because they're no longer selling the bag.
Right.
But people aren't stealing your baskets either.
Then
so
that's
maybe
a cost.
take a bag, leave a bag.
So maybe that'll be something they look at. I know they're kind of reevaluating the whole system to see what is a better way to go about this.
They should just call us. We got it.
There you go.
We got it down pat. Don't worry.
Well, look, there are thousands of adults across New Jersey who are living with disabilities. We know that, but many of them are struggling to keep a roof over their heads.
Joining us on the show this morning is Michelle Elmer for Rebecca's Homestead, a nonprofit that provides housing to adults around the state living with disabilities. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, good morning. Thank you for having me. This is an exciting time for me right now.
It's exciting for us, too. We're glad you're here. We want to learn a little bit more about Rebecca's Homestead. Tell us a little bit more about the backstory and what inspired you to start the foundation.
Okay. First, I'll just explain that Rebecca's Homestead is an inclusive residential home and farm serving the adult community that is affected by developmental disabilities. The property is actually located in Wantage, New Jersey, which is Sussex County. For now, the adults that will be coming, there's actually 3 women who are planning to move in, as well as 2 men that will be planning to move in. Presently, they all have their own self-directed budget and plans for the day. And so they'll keep those plans with their supports, but then they will live here. And this, like I said, is a farm and residential community. It's quite unique because we have already established a garden that has been fully functioning from last year for garden season as well as this year. And this year we actually were able to even start selling some of our stuff just on a local roadside right in front of the house, which allowed these adults to engage in that type of activity, even though they don't live there yet. So the process of moving them in is hopefully closer to November, and with some of them maybe a little bit later as we continue to renovate the property, as you see in this picture of the garden. We are some of the background of why we established this. Why did we, my husband and I, as co-founders, his name is Dennis, establish this, is because we actually we have a daughter. Her name is Rebecca, and so she's 35 years old. And through the course of her life, living with this developmental disability, which includes a lot of different things, we attended many meetings through the ARC, whether it was Sussex or Morris or through her schools, where we found out more about what their life will be like, how to help her, how to include her into the community. And one of the biggest problems that we saw with a waiting list at that time was over 8,000 adults who were on a waiting list to literally get housing. We saw that housing was a big issue, but also transportation is a huge issue. And living in Sussex County, I don't live in Sussex County, but the area of Sussex County is even a bigger issue because there is no mass transportation. And there is no, and everybody has large properties. And so to get even to a friend's house can be quite difficult.
Yeah. So Michelle, how has Rebecca's homestead grown since you and your husband started it?
Okay, so the growth has been tremendous with the help of hundreds of volunteers, which started back in, we closed in January of 2021. And so by February 13th, we had our very first gathering of volunteers. This is in the middle of the pandemic, and people were willing to come out and help. We had about 20 people show up. We started just cleaning the house, getting the property ready, painting, and doing whatever it took. And so what we also started doing as of July of 2021 is we had our first movie night where we gathered about 40 adults with their friends and families for a movie night. And that was in the building behind that yellow house is this beautiful, large, red looking barn building that has a ground floor fully accessible that we can have about 40 to 50 people in these two rooms gather and do social events. And we've had chili cook-offs, we've had game night, we've had painting classes, we've had just movie nights and fun gatherings so that our community can be with their friends, with other community members, and just learn how to thrive in their daily lifestyle.
I love it. And you mentioned, housing obviously goes into a big part of this, but what other kinds of services do your residents have access to?
Well, they have access to the services that they presently will continue to have access to, which are day programs through Piece by Piece of NJ, of New Jersey, through the SCARC, if they are a part of that. They have access to going to other social events like Friendship Group, which is through Katie's house, the recreation evening events that are at Smile House, and then many of them also are part of the LACE program at the Sussex Community College, which is an incredible program on a Wednesday night where they literally take a class at an adult, at a college experience that is really catered towards their own unique way of learning.
All of those programs are so amazing. I think it's so important for people to even just have a resource like you where they know they can find them, they can be put in touch. We happen to have a family friend who, and I know their son is, into his 30s, and it's one of those things where, they worry because he lives with them right now, and it's kind of a point where, what happens to him when we're gone? Where does he go? What do we do? And to have a place like this available, I think that's such a peace of mind for parents of these adults and the family members who live with them and care for them and want them to have that freedom and independence.
Exactly. That's what we saw, and not everybody has the resources that we had. So it started with a dream. It started with, like I said, going to these meetings and my husband just literally talking about it on a Sunday morning and thinking, what will happen? And we had this vision of a farm. It just kept coming to us. And we're not farmers. I mean, but he loves to work outside. My husband's an irrigation contractor. His hands are in the dirt all day long. And he loves it there. This is a second generation business. So, but he's never really been an office guy. So he's still out in the dirt. But the farm, it just made sense because, first of all, this population needs to have a full day. Yeah. They easily get bored. We saw it with our daughter. And so to wake up, get dressed, go outside, have chickens to take care of, have the garden to tend to, sometimes before you go out to your program or event, or at the end of the day when you come back, before you start prepping for your dinner, you can go pick your lettuce, go get some radishes and make a beautiful salad. And that's something they've been learning, even though they're not living there yet. The goal is to get them there. Hopefully, the first 2 women will hopefully be moving in by November 1st. That is the goal.
That's great.
Amazing. And Michelle, you guys have something coming up on Friday the 24th that's going to be a big fundraiser for you guys, correct? Can you tell us about that?
Yes, it is. So that's our 4th annual autumn banquet. Actually, it's just a few days after autumn, as you guys just said in a previous thing I heard, which is really kind of cool. But we always have it around September or October. And so this time it's going to be on the property. And of course, we wanted to invite all our donors, all our incredible supporters to be able to see the property, how we've developed it so far, and to be able to really get a better eye view of what we are doing. We will have tours at 5:30, and then we will go right into an incredible evening of a live band, dancing, great food, and some fun stuff like 50/50s and all those things you would normally see at a fundraiser. And so it's going to be an incredible evening. We have some incredible sponsors that have already been supporting this. I do want to give a shout out to Selective Insurance. They have partnered with us. They've been on our property 3 different days, and they have supplied 15 to 20 employees to spend the entire day each time, making the property more beautiful and ready for our residents to move in, as well as getting it ready for this event.
Wow.
That's amazing. Where can viewers find out more information about you, the story, and Rebecca's Homestead?
Well, they can find everything that we're doing on our website, which is www.rebeccashomestead.com. People can call me, which I get phone calls often, but my number is on the website. And I have talked to people as far as Arizona, as far as Florida, parents, just like you said, that are wondering, what will happen? And when they see us and they hear about us, they want to know how we did it. And I want to just thank God for the fact that we had this business that allowed us to kind of partner with many of our customers as well as our business associates that have helped us in many ways. I want to give a shout out to Ron Carr, who is a certified financial planner. He is actually one of our partners for this event, and his company is Creative Financial Group. And I want to do a shout out to Ideal Farms also, that is supporting us with mums and to make it more beautiful. So I welcome you to join us, become a corporate sponsor, check that out on our website, and give us a call.
Yeah. Michelle Elmer, thank you so much for joining us today and talking about Rebecca's Homestead. We really appreciate it. Beautiful work that you're doing. Thanks again for your time.
Thank you for this opportunity. Have a great day.
You too. All the best.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. So we've all known that the pizza Jersey is better than New York for a while now, but there's a new list that says the pizza here is better than some spots in Italy. What? Yeah. We'll tell you how that happened after the break.
That's amazing. Plus, we'll get another look at that weekend forecast. Should we be heading to the beach or the shore or the orchard this weekend? Maybe both. You never know.
Yep. And hey, let us know what you're up to this weekend. Follow along on social media at NJ Morning Show. Share your comments, pictures, and ideas. We love hearing from you.
Right now, families all across New Jersey are struggling with hunger, and their financial futures remain uncertain. You can be the hope for our hungry neighbors in need in a time when that need is still so great. The Community Food Bank of New Jersey, the state's largest anti-hunger, anti-poverty organization, is filling the emptiness caused by hunger with food, help, and hope. Go to cfbnj.org now to join us.
The New Jersey Hall of Fame is coming to you, celebrating our best and brightest. greeting guests along our Garden State Parkway through its 9 service areas, engaging travelers from our terminals to our transit centers, inspiring new generations as we move from town to town, and at New Jersey's hottest red carpet ceremony, inspiring New Jerseyans at our new home at American Dream. It's the New Jersey Hall of Fame, and it's where you want to be because everyone needs a hero.
Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show.
Meteorologist Mike Favetta is off today, but he sent us some slides to share with you so we don't leave you hanging in terms of the weather if you're trying to make those weekend plans. Hey, it's a pretty nice weekend out there. It's pretty much the best of both worlds. At night, you're in the 60s there. During the day, it's sunny and warm. The mid to upper 80s on Sunday. Fall is around the corner. What fall?
Somewhere,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
So if you are headed to the shore, it's going to be a great weekend for that. If you are planning on going some apple picking or maybe even pumpkin picking, it's a little early.
It's a little early. The squirrels are going to get to the pumpkins.
It might be a little
Don't do
hot.
the pumpkins yet.
So just wear a t-shirt instead of that flannel.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Looking at some of those highs over the weekend. 81 for Morristown, 76 in Belmar, and 82 for the weekend high in Camden. So yeah, my vote's the beach.
The beach.
Maybe we got one more.
Squeeze it in, for sure.
Absolutely. Don Smith has a look at this morning's commute for us as well. Hey, Don, how's it going?
Hey, Kara, good morning to you. Good morning, Kristina. Yeah, not too well here this morning in North Brunswick. Let's get you right to our cameras here, courtesy of our friends at DOT. Big active scene here north along Route 1. This is just north of Route 130. I want to expand this camera a little larger so we can kind of get what's going on. Overturned vehicle happened about 45 minutes ago or so. We're here live at 9:37 now on a Friday, so hopefully everyone's okay. But there's a massive response here as far as emergency apparatus, police, fire, ambulance, other emergency services. So I'm not quite sure exactly what kind of a vehicle that flipped over, whether it was a car, an SUV, maybe a small box truck or something. There was just a lot of activity here. So we hope that everyone is okay in this morning. And sometimes when you see those vehicles kind of enveloping the other vehicle, that maybe they're not wanting people to kind of stop and take a look because it may be a more serious situation than what we're being reported or being told right now. But this is northbound on Route 1, just north of Route 130. We'll still certainly keep on top of that. So you can see what it's also doing now is backing up traffic onto 130, heading north onto Route 1. This traffic getting through North Brunswick is really stacked here, getting back into Livingston Avenue, which is Route 26. So if you're watching us, let's say in the South Brunswick area or even down through Dayton, coming up out of on 130 or so, just be aware this is what you're going to run into this morning heading north. Maybe starts to think about opting for 27 on your approach into New Brunswick, but again, we'll stay on top of this in the traffic center. Also getting word of a crash here, vehicle fire along northbound Route 18 this morning. This is coming in just north of Route 33, so watch for that. Again, that's just happening here within the last couple of moments. I don't think there's a camera in there, but we'll check up for our last and final report for this Friday. Other than that, for the most part, we are fairly good around the state, down the shore. Maybe heading out to a very crisp start to your beach day out in Point Pleasant or Long Beach Island, Little Egg Harbor, Beach Haven, Brigantine, Atlantic City. Parkway is good. All the way down into Cape May. AC Expressway is fine now. 55 getting into 42. We're still a little crowded into the long-term repair as you head on to westbound 76 out to the Aljo Curve, but you know, you just can't seem to kind of shake those delays out for us. Even 73 is fairly busy here out through the Berlin area. Let me just go back to the incident page because I did see something come up off in the corner of my eye. It says emergency construction on 70 in Evesham. We got the right lane shut. So again, look for that. We also have this 206 gas main in Hillsborough is tying up the ride a bit at Brooks Boulevard. Also 206, this building fire, as fire department activity has been shutting down 206 both ways out by Cold Soil Road. Let me put that on the map for you, get a better idea of where that is here this morning, just south of Princeton on the northern end of Lawrence Township, out by the Lawrenceville School. This is going to be the Bristol Myers Squibb campus. So if you're heading for work there or business to attend to, this is out of play. You have to go with Princeton Pike, but it's also shutting down the ramps off of 295 getting onto northbound 206. So that is going to be a problem here until further notice. Again, it's been out there for several hours this morning. We'll widen up the map. Other than the Route 1 issue, your Parkway, 287, 78 is fine until you get out towards exit 11. This is that rock blasting heading through Jugtown Mountain between 7 through 11. That's there. Everything is subject to closure until about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Throughout Morris and Somerset counties, 80, 15, 206, 287 is good. 208, again, is really getting hit hard here because of this road work heading south into Maple Avenue. That's there until about 3 o'clock. And then also west on Route 4, a little heavy at Hackensack Avenue. And then 17 north into Essex Street in Lodi is good. But just be aware later on this evening into about 7 p.m., tonight, again, 7 p.m. tonight until 7 p.m. tomorrow night, a full 24 hours, southbound 17 at Essex Street and Lodi is going to be shut for construction. This is the latest numbers at the George, about 45 on average there, about 15 at the Lincoln and Holland, and transit is on or close to schedule. That's happening here in a busy traffic center at 942. Kara, Kristina, we'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Don.
Well, we're super excited for our next guest. For 12 years, George Oliphant has helped countless families remodel their homes on his TV show, George to the Rescue.
So now he's gearing up for a brand new season of the show, starting with his 150th episode in which he helps a New Jersey family that's been impacted by the war in Ukraine.
So amazing. Here now to talk about it is George Oliphant, host of George to the Rescue. Thanks for joining us this morning, George.
The pleasure is all mine. Thank you for having me. And your last guest, Michelle, I feel like I need to talk to her, see what we could do with Rebecca's Homestead. I mean, right there, Kismet, you made it happen. So
Hey, we would love to. Yeah, we'll definitely have to get out there and cover all that. Hey, George, so in your first episode, and you're all about helping people, because in your very first episode, you help out a family in Montclair, New Jersey, to resettle because of the war in Ukraine. Can you kind of tell us what that episode's like?
Oh, yeah, it was, I mean, all George to Rescue episodes are emotional. It's, you know, no one ever really wants me to come there, but they need me to come there. And things turn out hopefully better because of it. But it's in 150 episodes, we've never done war refugees. And here we are, you know, thinking, you know, how do we, you know, think global but act local? And I heard about Oksana. I also live in Montclair. And I heard that, you know, not only that she was Ukrainian and that she was from the area that was affected, but that her family was still there. And obviously the men were all fighting and participating in the war in some way, shape, or form, and that the women had left and they were refugees in Poland. And so I was like, you know, when I found out that Oksana was like, hey, we're going to bring them to our modest house here. It's just her husband, and their 2 daughters. It's 3-bedroom house and like a partially finished attic. I was like, how are you going to fit 4 more people in a house that already houses 4? You're literally doubling the size of the house. And so I went in there with an amazing team. Our designer, Livette Shrem, also from New Jersey. My dear friend and contractor, Ryan Hodgson, RTH Builders, New Jersey, born and raised, a lot of Jersey pride here. He was like, yeah, let's do it. And he literally called up all his guys, and we were able to get in there. We were able to finish the attic and make it into a accessible, you know, bedroom for Oksana and her husband. We were able to turn their former primary bedroom into an amazing suite for both her Oksana's sister, her sister's daughter-in-law, and her 2 grandchildren. And like, so there's a little bunk room, and we just wanted them to be able to feel comfortable and at home after, you know, going through so much, and make sure that when they got to the house, it didn't feel like, oh, here's a couple cots and I'm glad you're safe, but let's just make do. We really wanted to make it welcoming for them.
And they have their space now too because of you. I imagine your job at Baseline is gratifying and amazing, but to be able to help out a family that was going going through something so difficult. Describe the feeling for you and the crew that worked on this house for them.
I can tell you that everybody on the George Rescue team, and we've seen it all, was really touched by this episode, probably as much, if not more, than any episode we've ever done. Because of the nature of these people were forced from their home because of no act of their own, because of war, and they were separated from their family members, and there was so much unknown. And I don't think that any of us could even relate to wrap our head around what that must be like, because it's a situation that's so foreign to us. And yet here we are. We have neighbors whose families are affected by that. So it wasn't lost by anybody, both on the George Rescue production team, the contractors, the subs, the designer, everybody who came through the door. When they heard the story, they had some sort of relation to the Ukraine. They've been watching what was going on in the Ukraine. They wanted to do something to help. Obviously, I told my wife when it first broke out, the war, I'm like, I got to go to Ukraine. I got to do something. And she's like, you have 4 kids. You live in Montclair. You're not going to Ukraine. But this was an opportunity for me to be able to do something. And, it starts with that first pebble, and then, we'll see where the ripples go.
Yeah,
absolutely. And you know what, George, I feel like that's so much of what George to the Rescue is about. You've been hosting it since 2010. Having done the show for all these years now, what stands out to you about the impact that the show has had, not just on this family, but on all the families you've helped?
It's an amazing family, what George to Rescue has created. I mean, it's really a community. 150 episodes, each one of those is a family or an organization in need that's all about helping others or somebody who's really going through a rough time. So I think that, for me personally, I'm blessed to have the job where literally my job is to help those who need something and would probably never ask for it and would never be able to afford to do what is necessary to make their home suit their reality. And so I know, thankfully, because of social media, there's a lot of negatives in social media, but the positive is that I'm able to connect still to date with Katie Hansen. She was the very first episode. She was 3 years old. She's 16. I just saw a Facebook post that she's going to be a sophomore in high school. Her brother's going to be a senior. She was a little girl. She had a tumor. And she could see it. It's for her first episode. Every episode's emotional. They all start with tears of anguish, and they all finish with tears of joy. And I'm very proud to have been doing this. I can't believe it's 150 episodes. I can't believe it's 13 seasons. Like, I signed up for this. It was like, well, I actually created it out of Open House, which most people are familiar with, a great show. Sarah Gore's been an amazing host for 15 years. And we had a little segment called Open House to the Rescue, which just snowballed and it became bigger than the segment and became its own show. And they're like, okay, we're going to do 6 episodes and we'll see how it goes. And that was in the summer of 2010. And here we are, 144 episodes more.
I know. It feels like just yesterday it started. I've been watching the show as well, and it's all about the stories, right?
It is.
So, what are some of the other New Jersey stories you're looking forward to sharing on the show this season?
Well, I always say that George to Rescue is a human interest show that uses construction and design to tell the story. 3 more Jersey stories. We have the one for Oksana in Montclair. We also have this amazing girl, Peyton Triano, up in Kinnelon. She's 14 years old. I have a son who's 14 years old. I love him. He's not doing what Peyton's doing. Peyton is out there. She is baking. She's selling her baked goods. She's getting the money from that. She's going to the store. She's buying all sorts of food. She's donating it to food pantries. She is this, and she's been doing this for years. And she's all about helping her fellow man, helping her community, helping out in any way she can. She's just got the biggest heart. So we were able to come in and do something special just to kind of really showcase who she was and what she's doing at such a young age and how she cares so passionately about her community and just doing good that we wanted to showcase that. And we ended up going in and fixing up her bedroom and her sister's bedrooms. And of course, the way we do it with George to Rescue, we made it pretty awesome. I got to give it up to our designers, Butter and Velvet. They were absolutely phenomenal. And then we also are doing one in South Plainfield, New Jersey. And this is one that we actually found. He's a painter who's been on a number of George to Rescue episodes, always giving back to the community, helping us. He has some medical issues, but more pressing is that his son is dealing with like an unprecedented, it's literally like 200, it's really a ridiculously small number, 200 to 500 cases in the world of this something that is just allowing him to mature or at a slower rate. And so we're going in and helping him and his wife and their 2 kids fixing up their basement with Ellie and Mike Morose. Also have helped us on many times. They're from Westfield, New Jersey. So, and again, in 150 episodes, I'd say at least 50% of our episodes, so 75 episodes, have probably happened here in the Garden State. And I tell you, you guys know, anyone watching the show knows, New Jersey brings it. There's a lot of heart. There's a lot of pride. People want to help their neighbors. They want to do what they can to make those in their community who are hurting. They want to do what they can to really, lift them up.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. George, I'm so excited for this upcoming season.
Yes.
Where and when can people tune in to George to the Rescue this fall?
So the new season starts October 1st. Starts with the Oksana episode, and then it goes through November 5th. And it's going to be a phenomenal run. I just realized that November 5th is my daughter's golden birthday. She'll be 5. So, hey, look at that.
That's a great month to be born, by the way.
November
birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
I'm the day after your daughter.
Yeah, well, I'll send you a note.
Yes.
George to the rescue. George, thank you so much for coming on with us. We're looking forward to those new episodes for sure.
Oh, it was a real pleasure, and I loved watching all your guests before me, and I'll continue to watch, see what happens next.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Bye. And don't forget, you can catch all of your favorite interviews, just like George, weather reports, and more on demand online. Just follow us on social media. Head to Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and search for @NJ Morning Show and click follow.
2020 felt like a dark tunnel, and while 2020 is over, the impact is not. The pandemic affected both our physical and mental health.
We started the Cody Fund for mental health to change lives, so we want you to know about NJ211.
It's a referral service for anyone in crisis, even children.
I'm living proof that there's light at the end of the tunnel.
And it's not a train, it's help. It's NJ211.
Right now, New Jersey's youth are dealing with a lot. Growing up today, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, but you're not alone. If you're worried about someone, reach out and point them to help if they need it. The New Jersey Department of Children and Families offers support to children and youth in crisis. Help is available by phone or text whenever you need it. Be there for a friend, and know where to turn for help. Suicide should never be the answer. Growing up can be hard. Getting help shouldn't be.
Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show.
Meteorologist Mike Favetta is off this week. We are trying very hard to fill his shoes. We're not necessarily doing a great job, but here we go. We got the weather menu for you in case you're going out tonight. Who's going out on Friday night?
I still have the weather menu. I love it.
I love the weather menu.
Yeah.
This was our favorite thing that him and John did. So
Yeah.
if you are headed out tonight's a great night for a little al fresco dining by 6 p.m. It'll be about, as I say, 76. I'm this old now. I can't see the graphic from
Yeah.
here. 76, mid-70s,
Ish.
mid to upper 70s.
Mid to upper 70s.
Ish. You're good. You're going to be all right. Head out to dinner tonight, and then things are going to be looking pretty good throughout the rest of next week. Again, your high today is 78, your low is 60, and then we head into the mid and sometimes upper 80s through the week next week. But the lows drop down to the 60s, so it's good sleeping weather. We are all good. Yeah, that 65
is trying to run away.
Dropped all the way down. I don't blame it at this point.
It's just saying the weather's dropping. That's
Yes,
all.
that's it. That's what it's
basically
doing.
what it's doing.
Giving a heads up.
All right, we're going to move on to the traffic. Don Smith has one more look at the roads and rails for us.
Yeah, thanks, Kristina. Thanks, Kara. Yeah, it was definitely a crisp start this morning. Unfortunately, this is an ongoing situation, and I'm thinking that this is now turning into some sort of an investigation going north along Route 1. So let's set the scene of where we are. We're in North Brunswick. You're looking live here north on Route 1, just north of 130. It's an overturned vehicle. It's been out there for well over an hour now. Now, I don't have any information as far as what the vehicle was that overturned, but it's been a very, very, and I mean extremely active situation here this morning. Let me see if I can expand in on this camera here. I gotta widen it up just a little bit better there for you. So it's right in here. Now they brought there's a lot of emergency response to this. Lots of EMS, police, fire department activity. So I'm not quite sure exactly what the vehicle was that that flipped over. It almost looks like there's a lot of construction type equipment as well with this. There we go. I can move this up right in here. So again, not quite sure exactly what the nature of this is. Only the left lane is getting by here this morning. So we go to the maps. We show you now delays are back to about Route 26 as Livingston Avenue, but you can start to see some alternate volume being pushed onto northbound 26. Again, go with this as subject to closure because, again, it's been very active for the last hour, and they actually did shut it down for a couple of minutes to move some other apparatus in. So again, just be mindful if you're traveling through this section of Middlesex County, especially if you're watching us, let's say in Dayton, South Brunswick, further south of here, you need to make your way north up in towards Route 18 into New Brunswick. Maybe stay with 27 instead. It's also affecting northbound Route 130 as well. Let's go towards, I wanted to show you this here with the list of our traffic incidents because we still have this problem here this morning with 206. And actually, that just cleared. So that is actually both sections of 206 are now gone. Looks like the building fire out in Lawrence by Cold Soil Road has been cleared, but the ramps from 295 to 206, they're still remaining shut until they can kind of just regroup and fix and reopen those here very shortly. There's emergency construction west on 70 in Evesham. A right lane is shut there. And also 28 still has a water main break east out of the Somerville traffic circle. We're dealing with just some minor backups with that. But other than that, most of South Jersey, the Parkway, Route 70, AC Expressway, all the way down the shore. Again, it's going to be a beautiful day to be heading out onto the beach, albeit maybe a little crisp out there, but the water temperature is warm. 78 has some delays both ways between exit 7 and 11. This is that ongoing rock blasting that's taking place until about 3 o'clock this afternoon. But Morristown, again, Morristown 287, 24, your Parkway looks fantastic. So is the Turnpike. Really, only other hotspot is this 208 construction in two places. First here at just before Maple Avenue, that's Lincoln Avenue. And then again, south here coming into Russell Avenue. Watch for some construction there. We'll give you the freshest numbers here at the George Washington Bridge on a fairly active Friday morning at the Hudson Rivers. About a half an hour on average at the George, about 10 to 15, both the Lincoln and Holland. And your transit, just still some minor delays here on the Northeast corridor, getting into Penn Station about 15 minutes there. That's what's happening here in the traffic center. Have a fantastic Friday. Drive safely and a great weekend. We'll see you back here on the morning show on Thursday morning.
All right. Thanks so much, Don.
All right, so we've known for a while that we have the best pizza in the States right here in New Jersey.
Duh, but an Italian website recently ranked a Jersey pizzeria among the best in the world.
What?
Yes.
Raza in Jersey City, owned by Dan Ricker, who we've had on this show, not only made the top 50 list, he came in at number 27, beating out pizzerias in Italy.
I love it. Top 50 Pizza said it was Raza's use of quality, local products that made the pizzas a standout. I have not been there before.
It's one of the hardest tables to get in New Jersey.
Is it? Okay.
You can, don't feel bad. Like
you have to know somebody to know somebody.
They actually, recently, and we should call Dan and have him back on the show because he's wonderful. They just expanded their dining area so they could fit more people. They now have like an online reservation system because it's just been bananas. I mean, he literally has to beat people away with a stick. They just want to come and eat this pizza.
But it's like you think of all the pizzerias in New Jersey.
Right.
Like everybody you think most likely uses fresh quality ingredients. So is it just that or is it something else, right? Like is it the ingredients and the recipe?
I think it's a little bit of that. I think it's just his dedication to it because as a cook, here's the thing. When something is so simple, it is the quality and the level of the ingredients and the care you put into it and the care you take of those things that makes it delicious. Because, when you have 8 or 10 items, you have a little wiggle room to kind of make some mistake because one thing will make up for another. When you have flour and water and salt, it's you've got to do it right. And he's just really, we had him on when he released his book. He's really taken the time to perfect how does my dough ferment where I am and using what I'm using.
It's like the
and
little
then
things.
just,
Yeah.
you know, he gets those Jersey tomatoes. He's doing a potato pie. Now, have you ever had potato pizza, sausage?
No.
Potato? Oh my God.
I mean, you got to cook for me anyway.
Yes, yes. We'll have you over
We'll have
anyway.
to have a pizza party now as well.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, well deserving. And the site went on to say that it was just that it's his no fuss,
right,
you know, kind of attitude. I mean, he really he's very detail oriented about specifically what he's doing, and it's not, you know, fussy or fancy beyond that.
But it's also true, like even just a little bit, you can tell when something is simple is screwed up. Like you can tell where it goes wrong.
Yes.
So I feel like there is more pressure in that way to get it right.
To get it just right.
That's so funny. I'll have to go.
Yeah. We'll make it a field trip. Dan, we're coming.
Yes, please. I'll try all of them.
All of them. Yeah. All right. Now I'm really hungry.
Seriously, me too. Which works out well because that's it for today's show.
Oh, good. We can go eat now.
Yay!
Thank you, everybody, for watching. We always appreciate having you here with us.
NJ Morning Show will be live again once again next Thursday, 9 a.m. right here on our new network on New Jersey.
We'll see you then. Have a great weekend, everybody.